Pavel Tsatsouline spent years building strength into Soviet soldiers who carried brutal loads over impossible distances. And the thing those men never seemed to do was blow out their backs or end up limping with a screaming nerve down one leg. The reason wasn't luck, it was tension. And that same principle is exactly what's going to quiet down your sciatica starting today. Now, if you've got sciatica, you already know it's a different animal than regular back pain. It's that deep, electric, burning line that runs from your backside down through your hamstring, sometimes all the way to your calf or your foot. Some days it's a dull ache. Other days you stand up wrong and it's like a hot wire firing down your leg. And here's the part almost nobody tells you. That nerve, the sciatic nerve, is the thickest nerve in your entire body, about as wide as your thumb where it leaves your spine. When something pinches it or irritates it, your whole leg pays the price. And once that nerve gets angry, it swells a little, and that swelling makes the space around it even tighter, which is how a small flare turns into weeks of misery. That's the trap, and it's why this tends to drag on and on instead of just healing up on its own like a pulled muscle would. But before I show you the holds, I have to say one quick thing, because it matters. If you ever have numbness in the saddle area between your legs, if you lose control of your bladder or bowels, or if a leg suddenly goes weak and won't hold you, that is not a do some hold situation. That's a see a doctor today situation. For everybody else, the dull ache, the tightness, the pain that flares and fades, that's the kind of sciatica these holds were made for. And here's the one idea that makes all of this work, because it goes against what most people believe. The spot where you feel the pain is almost never where the problem lives. The nerve is usually getting squeezed somewhere upstream, either where it exits your spine or where it threads underneath a deep muscle in your backside. So chasing the pain down your leg with stretches and massage does almost nothing. You have to go to the source. And the fastest way to do that isn't to stretch the nerve, it's to build tension and stability around it so it finally gets left alone. 5 holds, 15 minutes, no equipment. Let's get into them. The first hold is the one Pavel is famous for, and most people have done a version of it badly their whole lives. It's the hard style plank. Now, you've probably held a plank before, sagging in the middle, watching the clock, grinding out 2 miserable minutes. Throw that out. The hard style plank is the opposite. It's 10 to 20 seconds of the hardest, full body tension you can create. And it works for sciatica because a braced core acts like a built-in splint for your spine. When everything around the low back fires at once, it takes the pressure and the shearing force off the discs and off the nerve roots that feed your sciatic nerve. Here's how you do it. Get on your forearms with your elbows directly under your shoulders. Now squeeze your glutes as hard as you possibly can, like you're cracking a walnut. Brace your abs like someone's about to punch you in the stomach. Tuck your tailbone slightly so your low back flattens out instead of sagging. Then imagine dragging your elbows down toward your toes without actually moving them. Everything locks in. You hold that for 10 to 20 seconds, breathing in short, shallow breaths behind the brace, and you do 2 or 3 rounds. You should feel your abs and glutes shaking and on fire almost immediately. That shaking is the point. If you can hold it calmly for a minute, you're not bracing hard enough. Time isn't what fixes the nerve here. Tension is. A short, savage 10-second hold teaches your deep core muscles to fire on command, and those are the exact muscles that clamp your spine into a stable position when you bend, lift, or stand up out of a chair. Get those working and your back stops shearing on the nerve 100 times a day. The biggest mistake is letting the hips sag, which dumps all the load right back onto the low back you're trying to protect. If a full plank bothers you, drop to your knees or put your forearms up on a kitchen counter and do the exact same tension from there. The second hold goes after a muscle most people have never trained on purpose, and it's a quiet villain in a lot of sciatica. It's the side-lying clamshell hold, and it targets your gluteus medius, the muscle on the side of your hip that keeps your pelvis level when you walk. When that muscle is weak, your pelvis dips with every single step, and that constant tug irritates the nerve. Worse, your deep hip rotators, including the piriformis, start overworking to pick up the slack, and a tight piriformis is one of the most common things clamping down on your sciatic nerve. To do it, lie on your side with your knees bent to about 45 degrees and your heels stacked together. Keeping your feet touching, lift your top knee open to about shoulder width, and then stop and hold it there. Don't let your top hip roll backward. That's the cheat everybody does. Keep your hips stacked vertically so the work stays in the side of your glute. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds, then switch sides and do 2 rounds each. You'll feel a deep burn high on the side of your hip, and you should not feel this in your low back at all. If you do, you've rolled backward. Once it gets easy, loop a light band just above your knees, or press your top knee out into a wall and hold that. Now, before I show you the third hold, let me stop for a second, because this matters. If you're dealing with chronic aches, stiff joints, and a body that just doesn't cooperate the way it used to, I want you to know you're not stuck with it. Most people think this is just how getting older feels, and that's simply not true. That's exactly why I put together Reboot Your Body. It's a 30-day, step-by-step program that rebuilds your mobility and strength one piece at a time, so you can move without that constant aching, get up off the floor with your kids or grandkids without thinking twice, and trust your body again. Imagine going a whole day without that nerve reminding you it's there. If you want it, the link is in the description below. All right, let's get back to it, because this next one might be the most important hold for sciatica specifically. The third hold is the Sphinx hold, and it's the one that can actually pull the pain back up out of your leg. Most sciatica comes from a disc in your low back pressing on the nerve root, and gentle, sustained backward bending can coax that disc pressure forward and off the nerve. There's a name for what you're looking for here. It's called centralization. When your pain starts retreating up your leg back toward your spine, even though it might feel a little stronger in your back, that is a very good sign. It means the nerve is getting unloaded. Lie face down on the floor. Prop yourself up onto your forearms, elbows under your shoulders like a Sphinx statue. Now here's the key. Let your low back completely sag and let your glutes and legs go totally limp. No clenching, no holding yourself up with your back muscles. Just let gravity drape you over your hips. Breathe slow and hold for 30 to 60 seconds, then come down and repeat it a few times. As you hold, pay attention to your leg. The pain should ease or pull upward, but listen closely, because this is the one rule you can't break. If the pain in your leg gets worse or it travels further down toward your foot, this is not your hold. Stop and skip it. That tells me your back doesn't like extension, and forcing it would make things worse. If propping all the way up is too much at first, just lie flat on your stomach for a minute first, then build up to the elbows over a few days. The fourth hold fixes the habit that's keeping you in this loop, and most people have never trained it in their lives. It's the isometric hip hinge hold. Here's the problem it solves. People with sciatica bend from their low back all day long. Every time they pick something up, every time they lean over the sink, that repeated bending grinds the disc and pokes the nerve over and over. The fix is to teach your body to bend from your hips instead, so your back gets to stay quiet. Holding the bottom of a hinge burns that pattern into your nervous system and builds the glute and hamstring endurance that protects your spine the rest of the day. Grab a broomstick and hold it vertically against your back so it touches 3 points: the back of your head, the middle of your back, and your tailbone. Soften your knees and push your hips straight back behind you while you lower your chest toward the floor, going to about a 45-degree angle. The whole time, those 3 points of contact must stay glued to the stick. That's your proof your spine stayed neutral. Hold that bottom position for 20 to 40 seconds and do 2 or 3 rounds. You'll feel your hamstrings and glutes loading up and working hard, while your back stays calm and quiet. And this is the hold that pays you back all day long, because once your body learns to hinge from the hips, every time you load the dishwasher or pick up a bag of groceries, your glutes take the job instead of your spine. That's range of motion you can actually use, and it's what keeps the nerve from getting poked between sessions. The 2 mistakes to watch for are rounding your low back, which is when the stick lifts off your tailbone, and turning it into a squat by bending your knees too much. If balance is tricky, rest your fingertips on a counter for support and just go as deep as you can control. The 5th hold is the one almost nobody has seen, and it's aimed straight at the muscle that's most likely strangling your nerve. It's the figure 4 piriformis press, and the trick is that you're not just stretching, you're contracting first. Your piriformis sits deep in your backside, and your sciatic nerve runs right underneath it, sometimes even straight through it. When it's tight, a regular stretch often isn't enough to make it let go. But if you contract the muscle hard and then relax it, it releases far deeper. This is an old trick, and it works almost every time. Lie on your back and cross your right ankle over your left thigh just above the knee so your legs make a figure 4 shape. Reach your hands behind your left thigh and gently draw that leg toward your chest until you feel a mild stretch deep in your right backside. Now here's the part that makes it special. Instead of just holding the stretch, press your right knee outward against your own hand or push your crossed leg away from you at about a third of your full effort. Hold that press for 5 to 7 seconds, then completely relax and let everything sink a little deeper. Repeat that press and relax 3 or 4 times on each side, about 30 to 40 seconds total per leg. You'll feel it deep in the back of the hip, and most people feel a real loosening after each press. The one warning, and it's important, this should always feel like a stretch, never a sharp electric shock. If pressing makes the pain shoot down your leg, ease way off. If lying on the floor is hard, you can do the whole thing sitting in a chair, ankle crossed over the opposite knee, leaning gently forward. All right, now let me show you how to put these 5 together into a routine that takes about 15 minutes and actually calms this thing down. Start with the Sphinx hold because it settles the nerve down first. 2 or 3 rounds of 30 to 60 seconds. Then go to the figure 4 press, 3 or 4 press and relax cycles on each side to take the squeeze off the nerve from below. Now that the nerve's been quieted, move to the strengthening. Hard style plank, 2 or 3 rounds of 10 to 20 seconds of hard tension. Then the clamshell hold, 2 rounds of 20 to 30 seconds per side. And finish with the isometric hip hinge hold, 2 or 3 rounds of 20 to 40 seconds to lock in the movement pattern that keeps your back out of trouble. The 2 nerve calming holds, the Sphinx and the figure 4, you can do every single day, even twice a day on bad days. The 3 strengthening holds, the plank, the clamshell, and the hinge. 3 or 4 days a week is plenty. Do this consistently, and most people start feeling that pain retreat up out of the leg within a week or 2. It pulls back from the calf to the hamstring, from the hamstring up toward the hip, and then it quiets down. That's the nerve getting its space back. Movement is the medicine here, not another pill and not another round of waiting for it to magically heal. Your body is built to fix this when you give it the right input. So don't bookmark this and forget it. Get on the floor and do the Sphinx hold right now, today, and feel the difference 1 round makes. And if you want the full step-by-step plan that builds on these holds and rebuilds your whole body over 30 days, that's exactly what Reboot Your Body is for, and the link's waiting for you below. Otherwise, subscribe and stick around because the next one's going to help you just as much.